Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Gul Knowledge Hub. Welcome my YouTube family to your own channel, which is Gul Knowledge Hub. Today we are going to discuss 30 years failure and the art not to give up and how I mastered it. Yes, dear audience, just before diving into the video, just go into the detail of some of my career. I was a gold medalist. I was scholarship holder. I was a topper of BA, FA level, and then I won essay writing competition at divisional and provincial level, and I won prizes 40,000 from Minister of Jail, and then I secured 75,000 from the Chief Minister of Pakistan at that time, and 2 days stay at Carlton Tower Hotel. I also remained college magazine Amber's editor. This is my educational career in which I was at the peak of my success. I was peak of my success, and you can understand that when a person is at the peak of his success and he or she is not a average person, not a down person, and if he has to go through 13 years of failures, how would she have come up with that? I am going to share this story in order to motivate you, because successful persons always relate their stories of some hurdles and failures in their life. But I thought that a person who is still struggling in her life should come up with this video in order to motivate thousands of candidates, thousands of persons, thousands of residents, citizens of this world, in order to motivate that they should not give up. So this is the story of 2010 to up till 2010. I was at the peak of this success. I was at the peak of this story, and I didn't even see a single failure up till 2010. And then 2011 start, and from 2011 up till now I just met with failures. 13 years of failures. It's not a short time, it's not a 2 or 3 times, it's the story of 13 years of failure. And you are also thinking that how is it possible? This is possible, this is reality. At 2010 I was studying Hemingway's novel The Old Man and the Sea. In that novel, the old man was struggling for 84 to 85 days for a fish. The sea or the ocean is full of fish, and every other fisherman was catching fishes, getting fishes out of the ocean. But that old man didn't catch a fish for 84 to 85 days. And he was called an unlucky person by other fishermen, and people used to have sarcastic or criticism on his life. But he didn't give up. At 85th day he caught the biggest fish of his life, and even though he didn't get that fish to the shore, he even got a mere skeleton in his hand, but that skeleton became the symbol, the sign of his success. At that time, when I was reading that novel, Hemingway's novel, The Old Man and the Sea, I understood the concept that he didn't give up. He didn't give up. He continued his struggle, but I didn't got the idea of severity of his conditions. After that, from 2011 up till now, I am at regular basis imagining and visualizing the intensity of his conditions, the severity of his condition through which he was passing at that time. Because during these years I also passed through these struggles, and I also passed through this severity of conditions. And this is the story of failures, and just to motivate you that you should not give up. And then the second part of the story comes, that how I mastered it. How I mastered it. Art of giving is not a simple thing. when you think that you should not surrender, you should not give up. And how I mastered it, this is the basic question. I often visualize that after a long prolonged night, there always comes a bright day. Even though there is no hope, no ray in the whole night, but when the day comes, it becomes bright. And you can also visualize this factor in the seasons. After snow, after frost, after dead and decay of winter comes spring, where there are blossoming flowers, where there are everywhere greenery, flowers, fragrance of flowers is spreading all through the garden. I often visualize these factors: seasonal change, the change of day from night often inspires me a lot. And even though after 13 years, I still believe that I should not give up. I should not surrender, because giving up or surrender is just a thing that it is equal to death. You may be physically alive, but courageously or at mental life you may die. And if you continue your struggle, you still have this belief in your life that you can have success in your life. This is the biggest thing, because keeping on struggle or keeping on not to give up is the biggest thing when a person can achieve. And this is the greatest thing. And often at this YouTube level, I uploaded more than 700 videos, and after uploading more than 700 videos, I didn't receive a remarkable or tremendous response from this channel also, but I didn't give up. I am still uploading videos on daily basis. The factor behind is that even you didn't get your success, even you didn't get your reward of your hard work, and you are still continuing to struggle, it is just like a day which is struggling throughout the night to come out of the darkness of the day. It is still like a spring struggling to find its way from the long frost and death and decay and coldness of the winter. It's not an easy task for spring, it's not an easy task for the day, and it's not an easy task for me. And I read the story of John Keats. John Keats, the famous poet of English literature, and he was the genius, super genius person, and he did not get recognition in his life. Though at a small age of 23 or 22 years old, he died away. And at that time, he wrote so much of poems and poetry, and after his death, he got recognition. And we often find regression in his poetry that he didn't have recognition. After visualizing and after reading John Keats, after reading Hemingway's novel The Old Man and the Sea, and after visualizing the factor of day from night, after visualizing spring from the winter, I think that I should give up. But when I think about these factors, when I think about the seasonal changes, when I think about the day coming out of night, I still have this belief in my mind, in any corner of my mind, that I should not give up. Because when you give up, you are simply no more alive. And if you continue, if you keep on struggling with this ray of hope that you can be successful in any part of in any part of your life, and this success or this sign of becoming struggling is your life, because life is just a struggle. You keep on struggling. Why I made and how in this way I mastered this art of failures. It's not the failure of 2 times, 3 times, 11 times, 13 times. It's the failure of 13 years. And it's very hard for me to narrate this story of failures in front of you. I always told the story of my success of 16 years of topperhood, of scholarship holder, and of achiever. of gold medalist of a historical tours Lahore by government, I always related that story. But I thought that if I kept on telling my story of success, how will the people will be motivated who are in the process of struggling, who are just struggling to find their way to success? They will say that this person is achieving only success. So I thought that I should relate the story of my dark side of life, which is comprising of failures, in order to motivate you, so that the persons who in my society are who are living on the world, or who are living in this earth, on this earth, they are struggling to have their name on this world, they are still struggling to have their success in this world, they are still struggling to find success or reward in any of the field, and they got desperate, and they got disappointment. I am making specially this video for them, that even though you are not getting your reward, even though you are not getting your success, even though you are not achieving any greater aim, but the greatest thing is that you are struggling. When you are struggling, one day or the other you will be successful. Keep this belief, and if you have keep this belief in your heart and mind, you are alive, and you keep on struggling, you keep on struggling and trying, and this spirit of keep on struggling and keep on surviving is the basic factor of life. So this video is only for motivation. It's not for any dark side of anyone's life. It is just for motivation, that you should not give up your struggle, you should not get disappointment, you should not have any kind of negative thoughts in your mind. Even though you are not at this stage, you are not being successful, you should keep this belief in your mind that one day or the other you will be successful. With this belief you become very successful in your life, and hope you will understood this concept. And again, if you like the video, kindly share and subscribe it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.